I'm 27, and I found out the person I trusted most had been preparing to leave me for years. I'm 27 years old, and for most of my adult life, I believed I was in a solid, quiet relationship. Not flashy, not dramatic. The kind you build slowly and assume will last because nothing is actively falling apart. I'll call her Maya. We met when we were both in our early 20s. Same circle of friends, same routines, similar goals. We moved in together after 2 years, not because of some grand moment, but because it made sense. We split bills, shared groceries, argued about stupid things like dishes and laundry. It felt normal, safe. If you'd asked me back then how we were doing, I would have said, good, stable. That word meant everything to me. Maya wasn't distant. She wasn't cruel. She didn't cheat, at least not in any way I knew about at the time. But she was always preparing. That's the only way I know how to describe it now. She liked to talk about what ifs. What if one of us got a job somewhere else? What if we wanted different things later? What if people change? I thought she was just thoughtful, mature. Whenever I reassured her, she'd smile and say she agreed, but she never fully settled into the reassurance. It was like she needed to keep one foot out the door, just in case. I ignored it because nothing was wrong. Then one afternoon, by pure accident, I found a folder on her laptop. I wasn't snooping. She'd asked me to email myself a document for work, and when I opened her files, the folder was right there, clearly labeled, dated over 3 years. Inside were resumes, cover letters, notes, budget plans, housing research. None of it included me. Different cities, different timelines, personal statements written in a voice I didn't recognize, confident, singular, unattached. She'd been planning a life that assumed I wasn't in it. For years, I didn't confront her right away. I didn't know how. I felt like I'd walked in on a private thought that was never meant to be shared, except it wasn't a thought. It was a plan. That night, we ate dinner like normal, talked about our days, sat on the couch. She rested her head on my shoulder. I felt like I was watching my own life from outside my body. A week later, I asked her if she ever thought about leaving. She hesitated, just long enough to answer honestly. She said she loved me, but she never wanted to feel stuck. She said she believed people should always be ready for the next chapter. She said having a backup plan didn't mean she wasn't committed. I asked her why none of those plans included me. She didn't have an answer that made sense. What hurt the most wasn't the possibility of losing her. It was realizing that while I was building with her, she was quietly building without me, just in case I stopped being useful to her future. We tried to talk it through. We really did. For months. Conversations that went in circles. Promises that felt vague. Reassurance that never quite reached me. I started noticing other things. How she avoided talking about long-term plans unless I brought them up. How she'd downplay our relationship when talking to new people. How she described herself as independent first and in a relationship second. I began to feel like a placeholder. The unexpected part came when I changed. I stopped centering my life around us. I took opportunities I'd been postponing. Reconnected with people I'd let drift. I stopped assuming she'd always be there. And when I did that, she panicked. Suddenly, she wanted to talk about the future. Suddenly, she asked if I was pulling away. Suddenly, she wanted reassurance. That's when it clicked. She didn't want to lose me. She just wanted the option to. I ended things quietly. No shouting. No accusations. Just honesty. I told her I couldn't be someone's contingency plan. I needed to be chosen, not managed. She cried. She said she never thought I'd actually leave. That sentence still stays with me. I don't hate her. I don't even think she was malicious. I think she was afraid of uncertainty and tried to control it by always having an exit. But love doesn't survive where one person is always preparing to run. I'm 27 now, living a life that feels less predictable and more honest. And I've learned something I wish I knew earlier. If someone is always preparing for a future without you, believe them. Thank you for watching. Check out my channel for more stories like this. Please subscribe, like, comment, and share. Midnight Tea Stories.